and this is the one that I pound on the most is about communicating to your existing customers in multiple ways. So any thoughts, any off the top of the head?
Yeah, I teach you communicate with your existing customers to the point of a conversation. Some people get scared about communicating too much, but if your existing customers already know you and you're talking to them often, they're gaining trust in you, and it's like a conversation that happens. So don't get too scared of doing too much.
Yeah. So recently I was talking to a client and I'd asked them about the size. They had an email list that they had kind of started and fumbled with. I asked them, are you sending out at least a regular monthly email? And they're like, well, we started to, and we haven't done one in 6 months.
Yeah, then she quit.
Yeah, the girl that used to do it, and then my wife did it, and now it's on me, and it's not happening. So, I at the very least, you should be communicating every 30 days. And I'm actually going to tell you the easiest way to do this, but I'm going to tell you an advanced strategy also around communication. So every 30 days, you should at least send out something. I mean, if you're in a restaurant and you have a calendar, you can look at the calendar and pick 3 dates of things that are coming up in the next month, right? We have September coming up, so we have holidays in every single month. You can create some things around that. In my world, we do a whole call once a month. We plan 3 months into the future, and we're ahead of it with all of my members. But the reality is that, even if you don't do any of that, okay, you at least should look at the calendar, figure out a couple things that you want to clue in on, and then you got a basis to talk about. So the basics that everybody should do is you should have some type of monthly feature, right? Jim, you believe just whatever's in season. If, catfish is in season, then, and it's even on your menu already, it doesn't matter. Take a menu item and either repackage it or just talk about it. So there's one thing that's on this, think of it as a very simple newsletter email. And I believe that you should actually take that same piece. And I believe that you create an email newsletter with it. You create a handout or a bag stuffer or a flyer. You can actually hang them in different places around your business. You can hand them to every customer. You can put them in every to-go bag that you have, but it's all the same material because you can't assume that people are getting it, and you certainly can't assume that people are looking at it. And I'm telling you right now, if your restaurant sent me an email, the odds of me diving into it are pretty slim. And I'm in the restaurant business, and you may even be a customer of mine, but I'm telling you, we're inundated with that stuff. I cherry pick the hell out of the 5 email addresses that I have. I pick and choose what I actually want to look at and see and view, because it just becomes too much. So don't assume that one email is getting it done.
So true, Jonathan. The clutter is outstanding.
Yeah, so things you can communicate. So right off the bat, you have some type of monthly feature. I recommend a featured entree. I like to spin it up and do a dessert too. Why not? Why not do something a little more expensive, a little bit more robust? Now you have 2 items that you're actually featuring that you can talk about the quality and the love and the attention you put into your food. The other ones are date driven, right? Every single month has some type of holiday. Even if the holiday is, you're not doing anything for it, Flag Day, it doesn't matter. It's a reason to talk about it. But there's lots of different weird little holidays that fall into every single month. So you have this holiday mentality that you're always talking about. And then you should have some type of an event or something going on inside of your restaurant each month. You should plan something, either a big Friday night, a Saturday, a Sunday, something. It could be your birthday. It could be the birthday of your dog. It doesn't matter. You just need some stuff to talk about.
Yeah, just highlight a waitress's birthday, that one that's been there forever, but that has regular customers all over the place.
Yeah, another great thing to put into this little piece that you're coming up with is, do an employee spotlight. I mean, how good, that person that's worked for 5, 10 years, that's grinding it out, you put their picture and you just love on them, and then you're giving that to, 1,000 people that come through your doors. I mean, I think that person would probably appreciate it. Another thing to do in it is you can actually have a little thing where you say, hey, I'm hiring, so that could fill a little spot. And another thing I recommend, if you've never done it, I think everybody should have some type of brand statement that they utilize. And the brand statement is just really your commitment. So whatever you're committed to, and if it's, obviously quality and freshness and caring and providing for the environment, taking care of your family, all of those things should fall into it. And then the other easiest thing to do is a did you know? Did you know that we hand cut our French fries? Did you know that the catfish is a 30-year-old recipe that was handed down from generation to generation? You have some did you knows that you know that are really cool that nobody else knows.
Absolutely. So true. So true.
Just use this format. Use the once a month. If you've never done it before, use the once a month format. Even if you don't even have email, I don't care if you handwrite the thing and photocopy it. I've seen letters from kids, handwritten in crayon, photocopied, given out in restaurants that work like phenomenally as a promotion.
Yes, it did.
Don't overthink it. Just do whatever you can to get it out. Okay. So start with once a month. But like Jimmy said, there's this dialogue that needs to happen more often, right? Once you get to once a month, then think about once a week. Once a week becomes easier. And here's the gold of communication. And the gold of communication that I think is if you are using date-based events. So say, this Friday, we're going to have a chili cook-off at the restaurant. So I now have this week, I know when that chili cook-off is going to hit, right? So I have this date that's there. Well, before it, I can start making some social media posts. I'm going to put it in my newsletter, this thing that I'm going to create. I'm going to put it there. So now I got stuff. I'm hitting up to it. I'm getting people excited. Day of, you go and you post live. You take pictures and you put that stuff, boom, it goes up. After the event, you talk about for a few more days, you thank everybody, right afterwards, you thank everybody. And then a day or two later, I got more pictures, and you post those. So if you look at a one-day event in your restaurant, it's like 10 days of marketing.
Yep.
And it creates that conversation that Jimmy was talking about. It creates that dialogue of like, hey, we're getting ready. We just got in 600 pounds of beef and 900 pounds of beans, for the chili cook-off. Can't wait. Oh, we just got a late entry. Oh, there's just everything that you take for granted that you just think is probably at some level annoying to you is excitement to other people. Other people have boring lives compared to restaurant owners. They love to hear about yours.
So true. So true. They want to do what we do. Oh, too funny.
So Jimmy, so communication is huge. And if you're not doing it, and I'm telling you, once you get into the habit of it and you start doing it, it actually comes really easy. But